It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
Is Annette's Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Just her slamming airplane-sized booze bottles to get away from Steve. Does that one sting at all? Are you okay with that?
Insinuating that my wife just does anything possible to get away from me?
Goes into the basement to hammer booze.
No, not insulting in any way.
Well, I'm glad you took it to Greg.
And Kyle.
Okay.
This is English breakfast tea.
Boy,
for the
this
first
is
time.
what the English drink in the morning. You know, it's nothing I would ever willingly drink. But I suppose that if Al-Qaeda captured me and said you can only have tea.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Thank you, Melissa. Oh, boy. I'm raring to go today.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know
You're
why.
just in a...
have an energy about me today. Woke up this morning and thought,
Ready to go?
ready to go.
You think it's a carryover because you guys are back on the road? You're talking more than you ever have?
Yeah. Interacting with more people than I have in
Right.
2.5 years.
Now, normally what that would do, to me at least, would be the reverse.
The opposite.
You would be, by the time today rolls around, you'd be a little bit out of it, tired, maybe verbally exhausted.
I was exhausted yesterday.
Okay,
Just
so
had
Annette caught the brunt of that.
Caught the brunt of it is... No, actually, I think I did really well yesterday.
Okay.
Because she picked me up from the airport, and instead of... When I get home from traveling, all I want to do is just lay down on the couch and take a nap. But I was like, nope, I am going to... I can't do that. I got to be family guy. I want to see my daughter. I want to see my wife. I was excited to see them. So we immediately went out to lunch, had a great lunch at this little place, and it was a beautiful day yesterday. It was like almost 80 degrees.
Mm-hmm. False hope?
False hope, yeah. Some would call it sucker's early summer. Hell. Ugh, God. Stop posting those things.
Yeah, you're not alone. Listen, it turns out that in the majority of the country, seasons change.
Huh?
And sometimes it's not a switch.
Yeah. Weird.
Where one day it's 40 and the next day it's 70.
Yeah.
You're not unique, Nashville.
You know how
you're not
you can,
unique, Maine or
You know
Michigan?
how you should know that you're not unique? It's because when you're sharing that, that meme, you can see that the state title is a different font than all of the other titles, and that's just because people have repeatedly downloaded that, blocked it out, and then put Texas or Minnesota, or any of the other states.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everybody claims that theirs is unique because the weather is just so wet.
The only people that where the weather is basically exactly the same all year round is like Hawaii and
L.A.
Yeah, Southern California.
Yeah,
that's
honestly.
pretty much it. Maybe Florida,
right? Southern Florida,
like Miami.
Probably. Yeah, enough.
That's about it.
We all get it.
But we digress. So yeah, we got home from the trip yesterday. I was exhausted, but we went out for lunch. Came home, played out in the driveway for a bit with like the sidewalk chalk and kicking balls around the yard and just having a good time. I did nap for a little bit, but I tried to be as
a little more present
as I could possibly be. I've making a real effort to do that, which I think I've heard is beneficial when you have children and a significant other. They actually want you to be there. So
yeah, and it's a tough spot because for 48 hours you were not there, and that was shouldering the load of being the parent, right?
Yep.
And while it might not seem outwardly like, well, that's not that long. Sure, that's not the point. The point is that she was a single parent for a couple of days there, and to then have the other parent come home and immediately kind of crash and lay down and say, I'll see you in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, going to bed.
Is probably a little bit demoralizing to being a parent.
Yeah, so we were just kind of hanging out around the house. Evelyn didn't nap yesterday because by the time I got home, we went to lunch. It was it was later in the day, so I fell asleep for a little bit just as they were going out front. So I slept for maybe a half hour or so on the couch and then went outside and did did the family thing with them, went for a walk around the neighborhood, and beautiful day out. But yeah, I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk again. And I might be turning a corner here in my life.
In your mid-30s.
In my mid-30s. And it's directly related to this podcast. Because I woke up this morning and couldn't stop thinking about different scenarios and trying to foreshadow and make predictions based on the Marvel movie that I watched last night, which was Doctor Strange. I think I had dreams about it, which were pretty screwed up because there's a lot of weird dimensions and astral planes in that movie. So I think I had some real weird dreams. But I woke up thinking about like, okay, well, I wonder where this goes. I wonder what that meant when they said this. Or I wonder what went on here.
Yeah. And
but
of
yeah,
the Marvel movies,
we'll get to that later in the episode. But
of the Marvel movies, to have you sit and think, that's the one too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's meant to be trippy. You know, drug users probably have a weird affinity for that movie based on how they experience drugs because of, like you said, some of the imagery and everything in that movie.
And it's right from the beginning, too.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, they don't wait. Not the opening scene. Oh, actually, yeah, the opening scene.
Whew. So you made your way home yesterday.
Yeah.
You spent some time with the family, and then you said, hey, Daddy-o time. I'm going to go turn on this comic book movie.
Yeah.
You guys need to go pound sand.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I waited until Evelyn was in bed.
Right.
And Annette didn't have a lot of work, so she's like, yeah, I'm going to watch it with you.
Hey.
It was like 5 minutes in, and she was...
Oh, okay.
she was
I figured
out.
she would have gotten up and left because we talked about it a little bit last week. Kind of the amazing thing of these movies is that you can't jump in at movie 14 and understand a thing.
Yeah.
Now, with this one, maybe a tiny bit more because it's not overly connected early on to the Marvel universe.
I mean, it's an origin story, and I think that the Avengers were only mentioned once in the entire movie. Right. So that could have been a complete standalone movie. Would have been, I mean, there wouldn't be any reason that you'd need any backstory. Right. But yeah, so she ended up falling asleep, but then got her second wind, woke up, was like having a snack.
Second half.
Yeah, exactly. And we sat there and I watched the whole thing, and I always watch it with my laptop sitting right there because I'm pausing it like every 20 minutes or so just to kind of take notes and catch up.
But it's a real fun way for your significant other to watch a movie when you say, hang on, pause, and then click, clack, tappy, tap for 30 seconds.
She could not care less. She is one of those people that we could be watching a movie, TV show, whatever, that we've never seen before, that we've both been really looking forward to watching. Like the morning show on Apple TV Plus. We both love that show.
Maybe just waiting for the newest episode of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Something
like
that.
Better Call Saul, something like that. So she's the person that she's like, I'm gonna go get a drink. And I pause it, and she says, you don't need to pause it. And I'm like, yes. What do you mean I don't need to pause it?
What do you mean? You're going to miss integral information here.
Like, I'll pause it if I have a big yawn because my eyes closed.
You missed a few words.
For a second or so. Yeah. That always shocks me when she does it. No, you don't need to pause it. Yes, I do. I'm going to pause it anyway. It doesn't matter. So
I need it.
So we watched that last night, and
we'll get to that review as we always do. As we wrap up this week's episode here later on.
And I think that this is finally going to be the one where I'm going to get it in 60 seconds.
We've been close. We've been really close.
Yeah. I mean, I just take so many notes that I'm like, I can't eliminate that.
Right. Like, this is a very important piece of information I cannot avoid.
Right. Yeah.
You mentioned you were traveling. A lot of travel for you lately and coming up.
Yeah.
You guys are in the I have a couple questions because it's already been a bit neglected over the past 6-8 months as you've been busy doing whatever home projects and other things too, as well as the winter. Is the Comanche now taking a firm back seat as your free time has dwindled to less than what it was before, right?
Nearly nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I've gotten anything done on it. But, I mean, progress is still being made.
Okay.
It's better than it had been for the previous 6-8 months.
Okay.
Like I've done a little bit on it, surprisingly. And it's just when I have time, if I have a half hour or an hour, I go out and tinker around for a bit and kind of, get some loose ends tied up.
Look, I don't see still no posts since.
Well, look, I mean,
March 23rd.
Look, I don't want to inundate people.
More than a month.
Leaving
the fans wanting more.
It is April 24th, 2022, the year of our Lord, the Steve and Kyle podcast, but we digress.
I don't want you to forget either that I am the one, we agreed, that pushed you over 1,000 followers on that page.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, you were struggling, and then we talked about, I gave the verbal endorsement. You've flown past it. So I would beg you to please not
All right.
avoid
I'll tell you what.
Our engaging Jeep fans.
Just for you.
Jeepites.
Just for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to post a picture today.
I'd appreciate it.
Maybe
Even if it's
before
just
you
a
leave.
picture of overall. The whole...
Maybe I'm just going to grab a random part out of the garage before you leave, and I'm going to have you pose in the driveway with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be hashtag putting in the old work. Hashtag elbow grease.
You're going to have to send this to me because, again, I don't follow.
Right.
And not interested. Do you still have any giveaways you have to do for that page?
I have stuff. Yeah, I do.
Do we want to do one on this podcast for Second Chance Jeep? Do we need to get like a drive for engagement, something like that? Do you want to do like one of your Second Chance Jeeps giveaway right here?
Maybe. How about we do it next week?
Yeah. That gives you a little time to prepare.
Big reason to tune in.
Yeah. You want some tools? I don't know what you have to give away.
I don't either.
Okay. You want something?
Got some socket wrenches.
It sounds like you're going to be digging into your private tool. Because you're
a couple screwdriver bits.
Yeah. Lightly used.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can make that work. Because you have stuff given to you by people who enjoyed your content or companies that thought it would help their brand. I don't know why. And you have neglected to give it away, which is kind of a trademark of what we have done on this podcast as well.
Yeah, they should know better.
And so it makes sense that we would continue that as you've flown past 1,200 followers. Do you remember what these giveaways you thought you would do them for? Was it maybe 1,000?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think I did one for 1,000.
Right. Next week, tune in.
Big giveaway.
Giveaway for stuff. Okay, but that's...
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll make it, like we tend to do, really complicated.
Yeah, I want to have...
So you have to, listen to the episode. At the end of the episode, we're going to have to say, what was the 300th word that we said?
Yeah.
The 600th word we said?
Yeah. And
who sneezed at the 2-minute mark?
Right. And then we're going to need you to like and share it on all social media platforms. And we're going to verify all this.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to go through. We're going to talk about low engagement. I mean, it'll be easy to check because we'll have one reply.
Right.
And it'll be from Timmy.
Yeah. And so Timmy's going to get the tools.
Why don't we just give tools to Timmy?
Yeah, that's right. Timmy, just send us your address. We're going to send you these tools. We're scrapping the giveaway. We'll figure out a cool way to do that next week.
Yeah.
As we look to further engage on a personal level outside of this podcast. We're going to give away some of Steve's tools. Anything else around the house? You want to dump off, give away? Or?
Probably. Got some garbage.
Some
great prizes.
Round a bag up.
Yeah. Oh, I got a lot of leaves.
Do you need some musty 8-month-old leaves from West Michigan's last fall and winter?
I'll send them. Anywhere.
Shipping available.
Anywhere in the country.
Also local pickup available. But at a neutral location with the blindfold on.
So they can't even come to a public location with a blindfold?
Well, they can go there, but then the blindfold goes on. They just have to press the button to pop the trunk. You whip the leaves.
I don't want to make eye contact with that.
And then they can't take the blindfold off until they hear the squeal of the murder Jeep's tires out of the parking lot.
I don't think that it's unfair to say that I don't want to look into the eyes of someone who once used leaves.
Taking a bag of leaves.
Maybe put that on the poll. Is it unfair?
No, that's a very good idea.
To not want to make eye contact with someone who voluntarily accepts used leaves. You got all that? Are we over the character limit?
No, I did change it to say who wants used leaves.
Okay.
Because if you have that desire, please don't listen to us anymore. You have an oddity about you that I can't justify.
Yep.
Another thing I wanted to ask, though, related to your travel, and your now frequent travel, and we will get to where the Fathead needs to go here in a moment.
Mm.
How'd it look? A lot of fan questions about it, or a lot of merch out there on Friday at the old Northeastern Pennsylvania live show?
Well, I'll tell you what. One of the first things I saw when I walked into the venue that morning was you. Loud and proud, first row. Listener Jeff.
My man Jeff Green, I knew
holding
you'd
it up. Jeff and his wife
come through.
They were they could not have been sweeter. I know that the pictures eventually got to you, right? Because
there was a few pictures that made our Twitter, I believe, from Jeff, of one with you and the laptop. Now was this another union job, so you couldn't plug yourself in?
No, I was allowed to plug that in.
Okay.
But here, this is a picture I snapped of Jeff and his lovely wife sitting right in the front row.
I'm happy to be there. Nowhere I'd rather be than right above Jeff's crotch.
Yep.
Watching the monkeys fling their feces across.
Look, it's a good spot. Beautiful spot. I saw that you had taken those photos and reposted them.
Yes.
But yeah, so it was nice to see a familiar face, in a sea of strangers.
Right.
There's that familiar face.
Right, you've got the yahoos next to you who, as everybody knows, they don't address you off the radio program.
No.
Different levels there.
Yeah, so only speak to me when microphones are on.
Yep. And when you're spoken to.
Right, when they're feigning friendship with me.
I have to tell you, I did get a little bit excited because I saw Jeff's shirt that he wore. And from the picture he posted, it just said, "I'm here." And then below it, I see the word pizza.
Yeah.
And I thought, hey, Jeff wore some merch, because we have some merch that is preferably in bright yellow with conflict manager.
Oh, that's
and then the words around it saying, "I'm only here for the pizza party."
Right.
And to find out it was here, I'm here for the pizza station.
Yeah.
Felt like I need to file some lawsuits.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's got to be some trademark
It's
property there.
It's a little close. It's boy. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to specifically find a trademark and copyright lawyer.
But that's great. Listen, it made the appearance. Jeff, thank you for being such a willing and happy host to do that.
So Portland, Maine, you are on the clock.
Yes.
If somebody would like to carry the torch, the Kyle Fathead Torch, we're going to be doing, the side gig will be doing a morning and a night show in Portland, Maine at Aura, the beautiful venue, May 6th. So whether it's one person going to both shows or you want to trade it off at some point after the morning show, before the night show, that would be great.
That is less than 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
So if you are going to be at that show and you listen to this podcast and you would be willing to bring the Fathead to, at minimum, the morning show. Now, the night shows are more questionable just because, does the venue change?
No. It's the same venue.
Okay.
So I would assume that if you can get it into the morning show, that you'll be able to get into the night show.
I just don't want to get confiscated or you in trouble by doing this. So if you're going to one or both of those shows, Portland, Maine, less than 2 weeks, May the 6th.
Yeah, maybe like stick it inside of your coat or something.
Yeah.
And just like Jeff did. Just kind of hold it on your lap.
Yep.
So,
and when, if there's ever a call for crowd participation, hold it loud and proud.
Yeah.
And then, as always, at these live events, if you do happen to make it on the terrestrial radio program, we always ask that you say, love the show, love the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Maybe we should get that Fathead just made as, like, we could just get those as T-shirts. That exact picture on a T-shirt with what was the hashtag? Like Kyle Invades or something?
Yeah, the Kyle Invades tour.
Yeah.
That back when we started this. Yeah, maybe we could do that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either.
Yeah.
Throw that on the merch store.
So we can make a couple bucks off of this.
That's right.
The shirt's only $49.99. Size dependent though. That is for an extra small.
Honestly.
So if you're a bigger person, if you want like an XL, you might be paying upwards of $80.
Yep. Listen, and that's just material costs. You know how it's going.
Exactly.
There's some cargo trucks out in the ocean or cargo ships.
Yeah. I mean with the supply chain demands.
Yep. That happens. Let's go through very quickly then, Steve, what else we have on tap, because we have Portland, Maine on May the 6th. Mm-hmm. We have somebody who is going to be taking it to the Upper Peninsula show on May 13th. Mm-hmm. The other dates are what that we are looking to fill right now. Now, there's an unannounced show that you definitely did not hear about on this very podcast.
Yeah, no.
That is just a real idiotic thing that you would assume that you've heard anywhere else.
So, yeah, we have Portland on May 6th, morning and night, as we said. We have a show in Harris, Michigan on May 13th. So you said we have somebody on board for that.
Harris, yes.
There will be one in the next... Well, I'll say that the date will be June 3rd to be announced.
Yep, unannounced.
And then 2 weeks after that, we will be back with our wonderful friends in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
That's right.
For a live show.
Morning and night?
Morning and night.
Okay, so we're looking at June 17th. If you are going to be in the Green Bay area, this is an already announced show. If you have tickets or are buying tickets to this event and you are willing to carry the Kyle Fathead, your responsibilities are as follows. Take the Fathead to the show, ship it to the next person.
Yeah.
That's it.
Make sure that at least 1 or 2 pictures are taken.
Yep, the instructions are in the packing material, so we ask you to sign the back of the Fathead so we can document this tour of the Fathead as it makes its way around this great country of ours. That is Green Bay, Wisconsin. Live show June 17th, morning and night. If that is you, please send us a message on any social media at Steve and Kyle, and we can get you on the list to make sure we get that sent to you in due time.
Yeah, we'll also make a social media post. A couple of them over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So you can just reply right there.
Boy, that's a good idea on that merch store. I wish we were better at design or art or anything.
Yeah, I think with that one it'll be simple. It's just that picture and then hashtag Kyle invades.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, that's not bad.
I can do that.
I don't know how that makes me feel having that. The idea that one person would have that on their chest.
It should make you feel good.
It doesn't make me feel bad.
I mean...
But as I've told you, Steve, despise being...
Not a fan.
Remotely part of an attention.
Not a fan of the attention.
Do not like it. Do not want it. Do not crave it. Do not seek it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even seeing these pictures right now of my Fathead at these live shows is just super embarrassing.
Oh, hate it, I'm sure.
And the more I look at this one photo from our good friend Timmy, who kind of must have come up to the front, in front of the stage, and took a wide shot of the crowd. I am looking at the first gentleman in the photo who looks incredibly displeased to either A, be there.
I gotta look. Is this
or
on?
B, it is on our. Yeah,
socials?
it's on our. So you were personally tagged in it as well, so it might be in your notifications too.
Okay.
But this fine gentleman is wearing a Cincinnati Reds cap and has a couple full sleeves of tattoos, and he looks like he wants less than anything to do with either the photo or the radio program. It could be both. He may have been dragged there because it looks like he's sitting next to a radio show superfan who's wearing 2 pieces of merch, and this guy put on his Cincinnati Reds ball cap and a zip-up fleece and woke up at 4 in the morning for this, and now he's very upset.
All possible. All possible.
So yeah, please reach out if you are going to be on that. If you're going to be at any of those shows. And do you have more? I mean, obviously unannounced, but are there more summer dates in the work? Or is this going to be a limited tour?
I believe that's it for now.
Okay. And a couple of we neglected to mention you are not even going to be at the Green Bay, Wisconsin show.
I will not be at the Green Bay show, and I will not be at the show that is 2 weeks before that, because that is right around the time that Baby Boy is going to be due. Mm-hmm. I guess I would say that the June 3rd show is 100% off the table.
Just based on due date.
Based on due date. Due date is the 13th. Mm-hmm. I guess there's a chance that the Green Bay one might happen. Like if the baby comes 3 weeks early,
right?
Then there's a chance that I might. But it would be a game time decision, basically.
Yeah, and you're not planning on that, so don't plan on seeing Steve.
I am not. As of right now, I will not be at the Green Bay show. So maybe a Steve Fathead?
It sounds like we need both of us there then.
Okay.
And if somebody during the Side Gig show could actually have both Fatheads and then just click play on their phone of our most recent podcast, it's almost like we're talking to each other. That would also be
maybe hand puppets.
Yes.
I've seen those websites where you can... like when your kid draws a little picture, say your kid draws a picture of like a monster or something, you can take those pictures, send them to this company, and they then turn them into like pillows or little puppets or something, and they look exactly like your kid's drawing. So if your kid draws like a dragon with flames coming out of his ears and like a sock on his head, they'll make it to scale. Maybe we could send them pictures of our caricatures from our logo, and they could make them into puppets.
Want nothing more than that picture from my Fathead of me, mouth agape, on a puppet. Like, I've never wanted anything more in my life than this right now.
Is it weird to want a puppet of yourself?
I mean, it'll be on the poll, but
obviously,
is that vain? Is it, or for me, it's curiosity. I don't know what we would do with them. We display them in here somewhere.
I mean, we have like a yearly puppet show, of course.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, Evelyn would probably be Evelyn's favorite toys.
We could animate all of our episodes as puppets, as us talking.
Boy, that's not a lot of work. We would have that done immediately.
Well, maybe, how about this? We each just wear our own puppet on one of our hands while recording the podcast.
Yeah.
We have a set of cameras that are just focused right. Yeah. So if I'm talking, I'm going to move its hand. I'm going to move my hand like this.
And then when I respond, my hand moves like this. Okay. Yeah, boy. I mean, it makes sense to make this almost like a job to where our hands can't move.
Well, I mean, surely we can come up with some kind of contraption that we just set our elbow and like locks our arm in place. That would be really
very simple.
Very simple, very convenient.
Oh boy, I want a pup. Now I want that. Boy, do I want that in my life.
Okay, so we're gonna put the call out to any puppeteers we have.
That's right. We're still waiting on a plaquist. We now need a puppeteer. I believe we are handled on a lot of the other fronts. So we still need a doorman.
I think I personally have a doorsman.
Okay, you got a doorsman. That's fine. Not a show doorsman, but a doorsman nonetheless.
Yeah, personal doorsman.
That's right. So, again, the Fatheads, and if you, boy, we do need some representation of Steve there in Green Bay and the other show on June the 3rd.
Timmy, if you could get a Fathead of me made, that would be great.
What's funny is we started this whole adventure with 3 Fatheads of me. I have no idea. I know one's in the garbage, maybe 2. Because they were confiscated by security, by the overzealous security at your uppity night show here in town 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, security's got to remain tight at these events.
Well, thanks a lot, Dancer or Prancer, whatever reindeer name you were.
His name's Vixen.
That's right. Steve, I wanted to ask you this for a little while, and I think it's a good time to ask you this because we haven't given an update on this. I had a full-fledged conversation with your daughter today. Right?
The times there are changing.
For a long time, I would barely get eye contact and then a turnaround and 0 verbal cues that she was willing to engage in my nonsensory. And
over the last couple of months, though, there's been a slow progression. Fast forward to today.
Yeah.
You're not even in the door yet.
Yeah.
And the words, "Mr. Kyle, come see my big girl room," are yelled out because her new bedroom is downstairs. It's just off the front of the house.
She's making the move.
Yeah, probably tonight might be the first night that she sleeps in her big girl room, which is
exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking because you don't know how she's going to adjust. I think she's going to be fine because anytime where she slept at, whether it's my mom's house or in-laws' house or in a hotel, she's been perfectly fine.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about that. I just don't want her to wake up in the morning and be scared because she doesn't know where she is.
Of course.
So we're transitioning her. We're moving her crib downstairs, so she'll stay in her crib for the next couple of months, and then probably somewhere around her 3rd birthday, we'll transition her into a big girl bed. So that way she's not going from crib in her nursery to bed in her new room.
Right.
So it's kind of like a slow progression.
Sure.
But yeah, so you walked in the door, "Mr. Kyle, come see my big girl room."
Yeah, we talked about all the characters in the new room.
All of her stuffed animals.
Yep, the colors, the chairs, everything going on.
Yeah.
And I got the full rundown. So what I wanted to ask is, as I watch Evelyn grow up, as I visit here every week, obviously I went through, Reed is 3.5, so there's that difference.
Yeah.
I feel bad saying this or asking this.
Okay.
Does Evelyn do, the coloring and the whether it be crayons or even pencils or whatever?
We got this big roll of like brown paper that you use when you're doing construction, roll it out on the floor so it doesn't mess up the floors. We just we basically cover our whole dining room table in it, so that way she can go nuts.
Perfect.
Oh boy, is this going to be insulting?
When is it okay to throw your kid's piece of artwork away?
Huh. Okay. This is a hypothetical from a friend submitted on our advice line.
This was the anonymous call to the Google Voice. They used a voice thrower machine and left this on the voicemail. I got to tell you, some kids might have the gene, some kids might not. Okay, and Reed simply does not. Okay. He'll do the coloring or whether it be crayons. Occasionally they'll do painting.
Yeah. I mean, he's 3.5, man.
But it hasn't gotten... I'm not asking... But it's always pictures, right? So it's pictures out of a book. So whether it's Paw Patrol characters or, an elephant or whatever, they're just as horrid as the one before it.
So there's no improvement.
And by improvement, Steve, I should say, it started as what you would anticipate a 2.5, 3-year-old to have, right? With just
scribbles.
This.
Yeah.
It's only gotten worse.
Yeah.
There's just more scribbles with maybe less colors, but you can tell like the crayons being pushed harder. That's it. Yeah. Not even a remote attempt to stay in the lines. Not even a chance like, let's make, the fire dog's hat red and let's make his spots black. No, it's just blue crayon, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then hands it to me. And then I have to display that thing on the fridge, but they keep coming. It's like I can't stop it. It's like they're firing off a conveyor belt into my home.
Yeah.
The magnet on the fridge is weighed down by these pieces of crap, and I don't know what to do with them anymore.
I think maybe what you do, because your average household magnet can probably easily hold, 3 to 4 pieces of paper?
Yeah.
I think that's the max. And then you delete from the back. So
that's what we've been doing.
You get the new one up there. It's one on, one off.
So is there a time? Like, do I have to keep even the back ones, right? Or do I have to wait do I have to keep adding to this magnet until the magnet starts sliding, right? And so hey, the weight has now reached critical mass.
I think five max.
5. And what are you doing? Are you going to be the dad who, when you inevitably sell this place in the next 6 weeks to 6 years, the next person's going to have trash bag of stuff in the attic that then they're going to email you about 2 weeks later?
Nope. No, they
Or are the number 5 on the list of 5 going in the garbage?
No, I think part of the goal for spring cleaning is to have that attic completely cleared out, stairs closed, and never to go up there again unless there's like a repair that needs to be made or something. A friend of mine actually him and his wife did something that I thought was kind of cool. They did every piece of artwork that their kid brought home from school, laid it out on the countertop, and took a really nice picture of it.
Okay.
Like, they framed it really well, so like the edges were all perfect and everything. And then they just had a little album, like a shared album on their phones. And so it saved it to the cloud. Anyone who wanted to see those pictures, which was honestly nobody.
Who wants to look at that?
They're all saved, so they got them all in the cloud.
Yeah. We're doing we pawn them off on the grandmas. We'll bring 1 or 2 over every now and again and say, hey, he drew this for you. He didn't draw it for anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't even draw it for himself. He doesn't even know what he's doing. These crayons might as well be food to him, it seems like. Because he might be more productive with artwork by eating the crayons than coloring with them.
I would say figure out how many pieces of paper that magnet is going to hold comfortably without the sag, without the drooping down the front of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And stick with that.
Yeah, I'll post that on social media this week, too. I'd be curious to hear other people's insights. Do you keep your young child? I think there should be a clarification, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about 7-year-old in art class in 2nd grade or whatever.
Right.
We're talking about your toddler.
Yeah.
So do you keep your toddler's artwork and other creations for the long term? Because like you said, you found it. Now what you found in this house were report cards and other.
Oh, it was full on school projects.
Yeah. Do you keep those, or are we in a day and age now where parents are even saying, "Hey, if you want it, keep it. If not, Find the dumpster.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you going to be?
I have a feeling I'm going to be a pack rat with that stuff because I'm going to feel bad.
Let me tell you, I don't know what you've seen so far out of Evelyn.
It's basically a piece of paper, one color, purple. Here you go.
And it's usually, is it a couple scribbles? Is she trying to draw the shapes?
No, it's just it's a scribble.
You're going to hate yourself. When you're moving or you're doing anything and you see that, you're not going to go, oh, her first artwork. You're going to go, great, one of 30 that are this exact same thing that I wish I hadn't kept.
Yeah.
Here's a black trash bag. Let's relocate it to the trash can.
Yeah. It's going to be tough. I think it'll be tough at first. It'll be tough with Evelyn. It'll be pretty easy with Baby Boy to just, oh, this is cute. Yeah, here, go put this in the garbage for me.
Thanks, number 2.
Yeah.
Go find the correct spot to put this.
Yeah.
In the trash can.
Yeah.
I think you need to be tough as nails, Dad. You know, you get the softy's been burnt out of you with the first one. So the second one comes, you don't care anymore. First step, sorry, Dad's at work.
You call this art?
First words, Dad's golfing, don't care.
Yeah.
That's
going to be a tough moment, I think, when I have to throw out their artwork for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't miss them. And for me, I don't think that's not something that, until you're a certain age, I guess, at that the child or the kid himself, they're not going to care, right? They're not curious at age, I would argue 7 until who knows how long. They don't care to look back at their toddler things that they did. Maybe in their 20s and they're curious if, hey, did mom, dad keep memories of me or do they write down stuff about me?
But even then, it's going to be a one-time fun thing. Like, oh, look at my first, attempt to draw Scooby-Doo or whatever.
Yeah.
Color in the princess.
Yeah, and then they look at it once.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put it right back.
Yeah. Yeah, I would bet that's a pretty common issue that you're dealing with right now.
And I do feel a little bit bad because I don't want to be the guy who throws it away. I just don't want to have a tote box stacked to the moon with papers that all look the same.
Yeah, I think for me it's the because I really like organization. So for me, it's like if I can come up with a way to organize it and just stuff it somewhere where I'm never going to remember it until the day we move, I'll probably keep a lot of stuff. But
I guess that I don't know if I'm surprised by that for you because I've never. I mean, you're a guy who's been digging through the yard and stuff and giving things away for free to get rid of them.
Yeah, but not mine.
Not personal memories. Also, man, I think set a reminder in your phone.
Yeah,
15 years, and say text Kyle. If you're happy or sad with your decision, no more detail. And then in 15 years, you'll probably remember.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we can follow up on this entire conversation on episode 3112.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, am I a bad dad? Am I a bad person for this?
I don't think so.
Feel worse?
No, I don't think that you're just on the surface, yes, I do think that you're a terrible father. Just getting that out there.
Appreciate the honesty.
No offense.
Of course not, Steve.
I mean, had you jumped in and said, hey, I'm offended, your offense would have been, legit. But no offense.
Of course. I don't know. How I could be offended.
Yeah. So, I don't. Yeah. I'm going to struggle with that too. I know I'm going to struggle with it because I even felt bad throwing out the artwork and the school projects from kids that weren't mine.
Yeah, well, you did a step further than I think a lot would have.
Yeah.
In terms of reaching out and saying, hey, do you want this? Yeah. And like we talked about, the parents obviously had a falling out with the kid. So in a form of punishment, they didn't reply to you. And so that led to the trash can toss of the childhood memento.
It sucked. It was like 2 weeks worth of garbage that I had to throw out. I couldn't just throw it all out at once. It was 4 of those big 55-gallon contractor bags.
Yeah.
Tall.
Right.
Like they were filled with so much stuff that they were standing up on their own, not in garbage cans.
Sure.
And I had to throw all of them out. But yeah, it took 2 weeks to get rid of it all because it wouldn't all fit in the same Same garbage can.
So part of the reason of you wanting to get rid of it was also because that was going to be 2 weeks of trash can occupation.
Yeah.
Rather than just one small bag over the shoulder.
Yeah, you know me. I do not like a lot of garbage.
No, that is very true.
Oh, boy.
I wanted to also ask, because there's things you have to do differently as a parent and as things you didn't care about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But hey, yesterday, Steve. Yesterday was Earth Day. Did you observe with your daughter? Did you go pick up some trash? Did you maybe plant a few trees?
My CO2 emissions yesterday were probably higher than they are
you
most
were
days.
On an airplane.
I was on an airplane. Multiple cars.
Sorry, it was Friday, but the point remains.
Oh. Well, then Friday. I didn't fly on an airplane Friday.
Hey!
Happy Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to everybody. I did not celebrate this year because I was on the road. We had a big celebration planned, obviously.
Obviously, you probably had gifts planned.
Yes,
from Earthman. Earthman dropping off Earth gifts for Evelyn.
All right, Earthman. We need that in the merch store.
Was this the one where in school, and maybe it was different over in the East Coast, did they give you pine trees to plant?
I feel like I remember doing that when I was in elementary school.
Am I mixing this up with another crappy holiday though?
Maybe Arbor Day.
That's what it is. You're right. Okay. So
I know. I remember planting trees for something.
Okay. That has to have been Arbor Day.
I think I still remember where they were planted. I wonder if they're still there or if they've been bulldozed for like a condo complex.
They gave us ones in bags to take home.
Oh, so you got to plant it in your yard.
Yeah.
And now
folks have a pine tree from one of our...
How big is it?
Right now, it's probably 30 feet high.
Whoa.
I mean, this was however many years ago, when I was in my, not in my late 20s.
It's like a big...
Full size. Yeah, my dad is... it's in my parents' house, obviously, because that's where I lived, and to the point where he had to mow underneath it, had to do the trimming to where cut all the branches,
and
up
it
to
started out as just a little sapling.
Just a little baby tree.
Ooh.
So I kind of did my Earth Day part 25 years ago,
right? Yeah,
and I'm really resting on those laurels. I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed you didn't spread the word of Earthman to your daughter on this Earth Day.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. It's going to be 2 days late, but after we're done recording this, I'm going to take her outside because the back part of our yard has a bunch of trees in it.
Yeah, a bunch of trees and possibly still garbage. We're not 2 weeks removed
possibly
from finding a presumed rubber washer in Toby's belly.
Yeah,
we are. He has carried up an exercise bike, I believe you told me.
Yep.
Shingles,
pieces of the old deck.
Yep. We're steps away from a human body or a bone at some point.
All right, so in celebration of Earth Day, today my daughter and I will go out in the backyard, walk amongst the trees. We'll put little ribbons around them as a marker of the ones I'm going to cut down. Because there are too many of them, and a lot of them are struggling and dead. So that way we'll be able to get more of the sun, to replenish the earth with light and warmth.
I did not see that coming. That is a real heel turn. And Earthman now has his nemesis. And his name is Steve.
It's Chainsaw Steve.
Chainsaw Steve. You're just a blatant ripoff of like Jason from Friday the 13th wearing one of those stupid masks.
And I'll just have a bike helmet.
A bike helmet. And again, your standard outfit. The federal boob inspector shirt.
Yep.
Crocs and sweatpants. And you are Earthman's nemesis, Chainsaw Steve.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay. You know what? They're happy to have your contributions starting in a few hours.
Well, I bought a chainsaw back in the fall. I'm yet to use it yet.
Can I come over and just watch you use it?
Absolutely.
Because I can't.
Why not?
It would make my defibrillator shock my heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it would think you're having a heart attack?
Right. So if it's too close to my body, the chainsaw could replicate the rhythm that once sent me into unconsciousness and near death in the hospital. And it could replicate that. So same thing as you'll never see me jackhammering, Steve. I cannot use a jackhammer.
So what you're saying is, if I start a chainsaw around you, you're going to croak.
No, I would have to hold it. And I think it would have to be close enough.
Okay. So what you're saying is, if I start a chainsaw and then toss it to you,
and then I'm forced with either death or catching it, and then possible death, I would have to choose.
Yeah. What do you choose?
Boy, this Chainsaw Steve is a real dick.
Look, Chainsaw Steve is out for blood.
Well, I mean, obviously, Steve, in that I would choose possible not death after being shocked, rather than certain death of a chainsaw blade rotating while it comes flying at me.
All right. Just making sure we got all the.
Are you really going to be cutting down trees in the back on your own?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay.
I mean, nothing big. Just like
those
the little
skinny ones,
little saplings that have like one branch.
You're tired of all the extra oxygen that they provided the planet.
Hate the oxygen. Of course. Hate it all. Want the yard to look nice. It's become a bit of a dumping ground out there.
Well, but that's not your fault or whatever,
some
right?
of it. The leaves, all the leaves out there. What I need to stop doing, I need to stop blowing all the leaves back. I need to blow them all forward,
and then rake them and either put them in a bag or
have
a dumpster.
Have somebody come and pick them up.
Oh, but that is a headache.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't the leaves that you have probably pushed to the back. They're
decompose. They
break down. I was going to say. I mean, it might take longer than you'd think, but
it takes a long time. There's still leaves there from like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it's also not a heavy foot traffic area for you that you don't even mow back there to be correct, right?
No. What I'm thinking is maybe every 2 or 3 years I will blow them all out to the front yard, have a massive pile, and then call one of those people that has one of those trucks that just comes by and vacuums them all up. Every couple of years.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, the leaf services do that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go ahead and cut down a few more trees in their young prime.
I might.
Staring at the clouds, thinking, I'll see you soon. I'm growing. And then Chainsaw Steve in the sweatshirt and sweatpants and Crocs and a helmet.
Steve might be renting a dumpster.
They're that big?
Well, there's so much crap back there.
Oh,
and there's this massive pile of firewood that is just completely rotted away because it sat there for 5 years. The previous owners had cut down a bunch of trees and stacked it all.
You don't think it would light?
I'm sure it would, but I'd rather just go to the store or go to one of those roadside things and spend $5 on a...
But there's a lot back there.
There is.
A lot.
There's a ton. Maybe the fresh stuff I cut down I will keep, but the dry rotted stuff, it's all going away.
You don't need a dumpster.
No?
No.
What do you got?
It's not what I got. That's what you've got.
What do I got?
You've got an advanced degree in Facebook Marketplace giveaways.
That's true, I do.
And if you got... Listen, firewood is not...
It's not cheap.
Something that people will disregard either.
No,
especially
with camping season.
Yeah. So, I mean... And you've never like lied on your post anyway. You're very forthcoming with, hey, this is a rotted piece of plywood with nails. If you want the cylinder base for a bird bath, you have to take this.
Right. Yeah.
And you've gotten bites.
Yeah, I've posted things like the one that it just said like weird metal garden thing.
We need to stop if we're talking about this. I believe we have a theme song somewhere.
What are we thinking?
I mean, we have all of this top-notch production, and we forget it constantly in our own desire to be, hear ourselves talk.
I'm gonna ditch some crack to some losers on the Facebook market. I'm poaching, looking for a scumbag on Steve's Facebook Marketplace.
Thank you, Very Zach. Talented friend Zach Ruddick there with the theme music. You've been forthcoming with your giveaways, and you were just saying you've given away.
Yeah.
I mean, you've honestly given away stuff I never thought you would have a chance in hell at giving away.
Yeah.
The nailed, rotted plywood, cylinder, concrete, bird bath base being, for my money, pinnacle.
Yeah, that's gold medal quality giveaway.
I don't think you would have 1 minute of issue putting, hey, possibly rotted, 5+ year aged firewood, take as much as you want.
Yeah.
The only issue that you might not want is, you know, you don't like interacting with people.
I don't like the foot traffic. I don't want people walking, but I also don't want to have to move it all out front.
Correct.
Because then if nobody picks it up, then it's just there.
Yeah. So you would then have to either allow people into your backyard.
I'm willing to. That's a good trade-off, I think.
But then you have to keep it updated, because if this is busy, it might be. Mm-hmm. One guy comes, loads up, you know, their Manchi with all of that firewood.
Well, in that case, I'd interact. I would have a lot of questions.
They would, you know, you would then have to either update the post and make sure people stop coming to your house and walking in your backyard.
Oh, I would never post the address. You never post the address.
Until they message you?
Yeah, you say message for pickup address.
Gotcha. And then at that point, you could just ignore the follow-up messages.
Yeah, I delete the post.
I think you should try this. I think you should get a couple pictures.
Okay.
Get that stuff out of there. You want it gone, let the internet do the job for you. Mm-hmm. You're not interested in having that abundance of firewood? People would love firewood.
I'm not looking to make friends.
We're approaching fire season.
Fire season right around the corner.
So that is going to be a hot commodity, especially when you post. Take as much as you can carry.
Take as much. You can cut down trees while you're back
That's right,
there if you want.
Well, you can cut down any tree that has a yellow ribbon on it.
Placed there by me and my daughter.
That's right. We talked about it a little bit at the start of this episode, and I think it's time.
Do you want to get to it?
I think it's time we get to it today, Steve. We're getting there, man.
I'm almost halfway, right?
Well, you are. So this was movie 14. So you're about halfway. So now in 2 weeks, you'll be at movie 16. But then movie 28 will have been released, or 29 will have been released in theaters. Yeah. So while you're catching up, you know, every 4 months a new one's coming out. Yep. So you fall one further back. But yes, needless to say, you're over halfway.
I feel good.
We are at movie number 14 this week. 2016. We are officially entrenched in Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Now, is it safe to say that I think you and Town Drunk Rusty, you guys were a little worried about this one, weren't you?
Yeah, I think me more than him. He had a good point. My worry was, it's Doctor Strange. And for anybody who's not familiar with comic books, he's the Sorcerer Supreme. He deals with different dimensions and magic. And while not exactly spacey or other galaxy-like, it's different. Yeah. It's not Captain America on Earth being a soldier. It's not Iron Man, using technology on Earth fighting war criminals, whatever. This is a bit of a different vibe. Earthbound, magic-based is still, I don't know your taste. Yeah. I don't see you seeking out, I don't know if you're a Lord of the Rings guy, fantasy, different realm.
No.
So I thought Doctor Strange might struggle with you. I enjoyed the movie. It's a different feel from a lot of the Marvel movies.
Yeah. How would you feel if I told you that you revealed a big spoiler?
Oh, I can only apologize.
Yeah. I knew pretty early on the fate of someone.
Boy, and you know what? I actually dropped the ball this week, so I did not rewatch. Okay. I'll be rewatching Doctor Strange Monday. So I apologize in advance.
It's all right. It would have gone that way anyway. Like, it wasn't a surprise, but I kind of knew, I think I see where this is going.
Okay.
So
Steve, I'm excited for your review now of 2016's Doctor Strange.
Did they just cut some dude's head off with fire ropes? What the hell? Everything's weird. Buildings are rotating and turning into crushing machines, and people are falling into fire holes all over the place. A guy has a bullet in his brain, and Cumberbatch is going to get it out. He's got a lot of swagger for a brain surgeon. Yeah. Steve, the brain surgeon, he crashes on his way to a fancy dinner and screws himself up really badly. His hands are ruined. Bad news if you're a brain surgeon. A friend tells him that there's a guy that was paralyzed that was healed. So Steve finds him playing basketball. The dude tells him that he went to a mountaintop in Nepal or something and he got healed. So Steve, Doctor Strange, obviously, he goes there. He meets the Ancient One who throws him through different dimensions and astral planes and gives him a real mind F. Turns out a former student, Caecilius?
Nailed it. I really, really thought that was it. And you were probably right at the end. 30 seconds. Let's keep going.
Okay. Is it Caecilius?
I forget I don't know the exact pronunciation.
All right.
I'm sure you nailed it.
Okay. Caecilius, a former student of the Ancient One, stole some pages from her fancy spell book. After studying under the Ancient One, she dropped Strange off on the top of Mount Everest and was like, peace, I'm out of here. Figure it out. So he does fire circles and then boom, finds his way back. He can now travel through astral planes. Pretty crazy. The sorcerer's job is to protect the 3 sanctums in New York, London, Hong Kong from the dark dimension from taking over. Dormammu is in charge of the dark dimension. He's a real dick. Strange meets up with the bad dude and they fight in what looks like a Jamiroquai video where like there's treadmills on the ground and everything. He gets a magic cape that pulls him around and can beat some ass. Strange gets stabbed, transports himself to his old hospital where he sees his ex-girlfriend and he's like, yo, fix me up, help me out, I gotta fight this guy. So it turns out that the Ancient One gets her power from the dark dimension.
Oh, no.
That is a bad revelation.
Deal.
What? Caecilius steals...
Oh,
okay.
man.
I am so close.
I gotta tell you.
Caecilius steals Strange's brass knuckles and stabs the Ancient One. She's dead. Strange makes the decision not to go back to his old life, but to go to Hong Kong and defend the Sanctum. Too late, though. The Sanctum has fallen. No worries. He'll just rewind time. Mm-hmm. That works great until Caecilius presses the pause button on his rewind button. No worries, though. Strange just flies up into the dark dimension to take on Dormammu himself. Yep. Since he can rewind time, he gets killed like 1 billion times, essentially trapping Dormammu in a time loop. The bargain, Dormammu takes his zealots back, and Strange will free him. Nicely done. Wong actually laughs. The Hong Kong Sanctum is saved, but Mordo is still pissed. Come on, man. Get over it. So Doctor Strange is going to help Thor now, and Mordo is turning heel? Pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2016's Doctor Strange.
Woo! Perfect.
Just
under 1 minute.
Did it.
Just under 1 minute. Boy, that might be your most efficient one yet. Beautiful. I got to tell you, lots to unpack there. In that movie. Dimensions and villains and good guys, or are they bad guys? You don't know.
Yeah.
The rings that they can shoot from their hands, the bending of reality with the buildings being upside down, like you talked about. They really throw you right into it.
It was, very strange right from the beginning. Aptly named.
Stephen Strange before he's Doctor
Stephen
Strange.
Strange, yes. With a PH. Ugh, don't like that. Don't like that at all. He is a man who is confident in himself. He only wants the best of the best surgeries that can increase his already very good reputation of being one of the best at brain surgeries.
This is about as much of a transformation of Stephen as it is, Doctor Strange, because I think that's important that they show him being a jerk, right, an uppity jerk, to then have that crushing defeat that he is now physically damaged and can't do that anymore. So now he needs to figure out how else he can help the world. Obviously, this isn't exactly what you planned, but it's an interesting character dissection for Doctor Strange and Stephen Strange.
I thought that it was interesting to see his character change throughout the movie.
This one's hard to explain and hard to decipher, especially where it fits in, because you look at Hulk, physical power, Thor's a god, Captain America has a juice in him that makes him strong, apparently.
Yeah.
Where do these mythical powers now fit in terms of, can he beat up so-and-so by himself type of thing?
I don't know, because it seems like he needs those brass knuckles to do it. Like, he can't do fire rings without the brass knuckles.
Right. So,
and then he thinks that at one point, he's like, of course I can't make fire circles because it's my hands. And then the Ancient One's like, oh, well, check out Ricky over there. And Ricky, does fire circles, and he's got a nub on one arm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think his name was Ricky, but it doesn't really matter.
You'll see the evolution of Doctor Strange and his importance to the Marvel Universe becomes only bigger and bigger as it goes along. Before we get to your official ranking, what did I potentially spoil for you in advance of watching this?
I think that you spoiled it, but I have a question. So is the Ancient One, she is referred to as the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
last week while discussing this movie, and I was asking you I was throwing some questions out there about Doctor Strange, and you said, you idiot, he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yes.
So when I heard that the Ancient One was referred to as Sorcerer Supreme, I thought, well, she's obviously going to be dead at some point because Doctor Strange will then inherit that title. So that was my question is, at the end of the movie, since the Ancient One has died, he is now the new Sorcerer Supreme. Mm-hmm. So he leapfrogged over Mordo?
Correct. So I believe there's a Sorcerer Supreme for each
realm. Or each
sanctum.
Yeah.
And I believe... Again, I did not watch this week, so I'll be watching this week when it doesn't help us. I don't remember who was the actual Sorcerer Supreme of the New York Sanctorum. Was it?
Okay.
But I think in general you are correct.
Okay.
That he is now... Yeah, he did leapfrog. So yes, that was probably a misspeak of me not having seen this movie in 6 years.
Yeah.
And forgetting that the Ancient One or somebody else obviously starts as the Sorcerer Supreme before that title is bestowed upon Stephen Strange.
So Mordo... He's pretty pissed. He got leapfrogged.
Yeah, and
I think he gets it. Like he understands. Okay, Doctor Strange has these awesome powers.
Yeah,
he seemed bummed that the cloak of levitation.
Yeah,
chose Doctor Strange, and at the end, like the post-credit scene,
total turn.
Yeah, because then he goes and he finds the dude that was healed.
Yeah.
And he takes his power back, so he's a quadriplegic again.
And what's...
Not cool, man. And that guy seemed like he was just like... He seemed like he was doing everything right.
The release of Doctor Strange kind of got caught in the middle of the Infinity Saga here. So Marvel then focused on... really driving us towards the finish line of the Infinity Saga, as you've seen Thanos in the post-credits, with the glove, and he's getting all the stones. So what's kind of a bummer, and the next Doctor Strange movie comes out in 2 weeks, you don't see Mordo again. He doesn't pop up.
Huh.
So what you saw is the last we've seen in terms of meaningful updates of Mordo.
Do you think he'll be... So he has to be in the new one, right?
I'm assuming he'll make an appearance.
Yeah.
But from what I've understood, this movie is pretty massive in scope. I don't even know that he is a main villain or focus.
I had another question. Because at one point, Doctor Strange breaks into the library when Wong is like asleep or whatever. Finds the book that... The Ancient One's book that Caecilius had stolen a couple of pages out of. He does his magic, and he makes the pages reappear. Had no one thought of that before?
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a permanent fix, or if maybe that's only, certain sorcerers have certain powers.
Okay,
based on that.
So nobody else could have done that?
That would be my assumption outside of just a pretty big hole in terms of the main villain not doing the simplest thing,
right?
Or the anybody else doing.
You have magical powers, just make the book reappear,
right,
as it was.
And I believe it is not very specific, but it's kind of alluded to that all the sorcerers have different problems. Those who train and learn the arts, they all have different powers.
Okay, all right.
So maybe this was not one that they thought of.
Apparently not.
Until, hey, maybe, Earthbound Doctor, regular Joe human Doctor Stephen Strange thought of the most simple thing, whereas everybody else is going through their brain to whirly bird circles in the air, and they're like, pages, blah! And nobody thought of it until Strange.
Perhaps.
Right. Pages, blah, because the rest of them are vampires.
Yeah. Blah, blah. Yeah.
That's just how it works. So, Steve, your official review.
Okay.
16's, apologies. Doctor Strange.
I was really worried that it was going to be Harry Potter Hocus Pocus.
Like the movie Hocus Pocus or Harry Potter? Like, it's Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I just want to make sure I don't capitalize those letters.
Right. Yeah. This is not a proper noun. Yeah. But it was more Matrix.
It was a little bit, right? Yeah, like bending of reality.
And I loved it.
Hey!
Surprisingly, I was so worried about this one. And even after we finished watching it last night, Annette said, well, what'd you think? And I was like, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm shocked that you liked it because it was so sci-fi.
Yeah, she hated it then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not a fan. And I was surprised that I liked it as much as I did too, because I'm really starting to narrow in, focus in on what I like. So I would have said before watching this, not a big fan of the whole sci-fi thing, but it's not sci-fi because it's still space.
Right.
Because the sci-fi, the magic, the spells, I'm okay with.
Sure. Huh.
Because even...
okay. I mean, that was the question going in. So.
Yeah. Even with... who is it that... Wanda.
Oh, yes.
Romanoff. Yes. Right? No,
Wanda
Maximoff.
Yes.
Maximoff. Yeah.
Natasha Romanoff is
Black Widow. Because at first I was like, oh, well, she does spells and magic.
As you
stuff.
saw in Avengers 2, she shielded people with those powers. Yeah.
I don't mind it. Yeah. I like it.
Okay.
It's it's just space. If I could, it's just the space thing.
Well, that's good news because next week we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on deck for your viewing pleasure. A lot of people say better than the first one. It is an absolute delight, so I can't wait for you to hate this thing.
Again, I did not hate the first one.
Steve, you mentioned this a lot, and I have to read your official review that says the best part about this movie was the music.
It was a great
Seriously, people liked this. That does not even leave a note for redemption.
What was my review this week?
I was really worried that it was going to be Harry Potter Hocus Pocus, but it was more Matrix, and I loved it, surprisingly.
That's a good review.
Off the heels of last week, I think this might have been my favorite one for Captain America Civil War.
Captain America Civil War.
So we are in a real heyday of you enjoying these movies.
Look at what's this, 2 in a row?
Oh, 3. Ant-Man.
Of course.
Big sigh. I loved everything about it. I loved the characters. I loved it. Not one lick of space in the entire 2-hour movie.
Not one lick of space.
Again, quantum dimension, all that stuff. Totally fine.
You know, when I have to say, when Doctor Strange went into the dark dimension, I thought, boy, that looks a lot like when Ant-Man went subatomic.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe, I was like, is there going to be an Easter egg? Am I going to see?
Yeah.
Am I going to see Ant-Man floating by in the background or something?
Not to be.
No, not to be.
Hardly any tie-in. Like you said, the mention of the Avengers. Really it.
Yeah, it was the Avengers protect the physical and we protect the whatever.
A true blue origin story focused on the character himself.
Yeah, I liked it. And honestly, I think that the reason I wasn't going to like it is because I did not like Benedict Cumberbatch's goatee.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the skinny goatee that kind of has the Tony Stark-esque wings
that is Doctor Strange to a T.
Yeah,
is that facial hair, and I think that's why they kept it along with the stripe of gray in the hair. They kept that pretty comic book. Coordinated.
I was, but yeah, I was happy. I was happy with it. Very happy with it.
Beautiful. So now you need to do is now avoid, because you are 12 movies away from the Doctor Strange sequel that comes out in 2 weeks.
So I got to avoid spoilers.
You kind of have to try to avoid those, whether it be clickbait or whatever, those articles talking about what's going to appear, because the cinematic universe is insanely different the past 2 to 3 movies than what you're watching right now.
Okay.
So, you're going to need to avoid spoilers, because I think this is going to be another gigantic movie in the scheme of things for Marvel.
When does the next movie come out? After Multiverse of Madness?
Sure. I want to say it's July.
Oh, Jesus. Got a lot of work to do,
then I believe the third one this year is going to be November.
Oh. Okay, so in theory, you and I, what comes out in November?
Okay, so we have Doctor Strange 2 in 2 weeks, May 6th. Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder, that comes out 4th of July weekend, July 8th.
Okay, so I probably will not be caught up by then.
Nope, you'll still be shy by quite a bit.
Unless I'm like doubling or tripling out.
Black Panther 2, November 11 is that is your 2022 slate.
All right, so can we just say that opening weekend we will go to see Black Panther 2 in theaters?
Yeah, if it lines up, November, you should be there by November, right?
Oh, I'll easily be there by November.
So this now depends on what we're not there yet, but what we're going to do with the Disney Plus TV shows that are either 6 or 8 episodes, and I think they've done 5 of those shows now.
Yeah.
We have to decide if we're going to include those because they are going to be a part of the cinematic universe.
As of right now, I am my priority is finishing all the movies, getting caught up on the movies.
Okay.
And because by July, I should be all caught up or close to it.
I have
a plan that I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
When we're not recording for how we can make this work. But yeah, I want to get all caught up.
Okay.
And
I think we're going to be closer to. I could be wrong. I haven't done the math.
I think like August.
We're at movie 20 in June 7.
See, the problem is if that one comes out in July, it's not going to be on streaming for at least a couple of months.
July will be Disney Plus probably around October or November.
Huh.
So we may have to figure out an alternative way to get you that movie.
Doctor Strange too, right?
Yeah, Doctor Strange will be similar time.
Okay.
Or just later this year.
Well, we're going to have to figure this out.
Yeah.
But we're going to make it happen. It's going to happen.
Boy, I think we're at 20 movies. I mean, 20. Boy, they just keep adding them too. You look at that list and it's more and more and more and more. A lot of movies. Really, 3 a year. I mean, you don't stand a chance.
Apologies to Robert.
Just lost him.
About 12 minutes ago. Couldn't have possibly been that movie review because it was very concise.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy, Steve.
What's wrong?
8 weeks from June 7, you will be caught up to Doctor Strange. So that puts you in August.
Mm-hmm.
But Doctor Strange will have been probably out of theaters by then. So we're going to be towing some line there when we get towards the movie that comes out in 2 weeks.
How about you take your phone with you to the movie theater?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just record it.
Yeah. No, nothing to see here, folks. Don't mind me. This is just my monitor that is facing the large screen.
Just get those, get some spy glasses that have a little camera in them.
That's right.
All right, well, it's at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of the movie reviews are also posted on our YouTube channel on a weekly basis. I think I'm a week behind, but by the time you're hearing this, it will be posted. I post them on social media as well. Sometimes we can't post the entire video because of the length of them. You think I'd actually try to get them in under a minute, but maybe.
You're getting closer.
Maybe one of these days. All right, so we will talk to you next week. Didn't we have something that we were going to do next? Oh, we need if you're interested in the Kyle Fathead
yes.
or possibly Steve Fathead.
Yes.
And you're going to be in Portland, Maine at the Portland, Maine Side Gig Show on May 6th. And then what was the other one? We already have somebody
Green
from
Bay,
UP of Michigan.
June 17th. June 17th, the Green Bay morning and night show. If you're going to be in the area or you're going to that program, either of those, let us know via DM, any social media account at Steve and Kyle.
All right. We'll talk to you next week. See you.